Hola y bienvenidos a mi video. Hoy vamos a hablar de rangos y profesiones de Solsticio. Alright, so my Spanish isn't very good, but I'll make up for it by talking about the ranks and professions of Solstice. Today will be short again, as the majority of what you need to know is located on the forums. The appropriate thread has been made available to you through the link in the description below. I'm a man of speed, and we're going to blast through this one so you can spend less time listening to me and more time working on your characters. Guardians of Solstice has a ranking system based on the trades of the old world. You start as a novice and work your way through the tiers of skill until you reach master rank of your chosen profession, at which point you've gained all available abilities and commands. All players start the game as a novice. You have access to basic commands, but on a whole, you don't get much. This is the equivalent of the guest rank, and you'll keep this rank until you finalize your choice of profession at the appropriate NPC at spawn. You can look for the stars on the Dynamap to locate essential NPCs. Starting from the beginning, you've got Novice, Apprentice, Journeyman, Adept, Expert, and finally Master. Sound familiar? It's a common ranking scheme. Take it for what it's worth. We wanted the ranks to be recognizable and familiar to the players, as this would likely reduce any confusion to a player who has just joined and knows nothing. You rank up by gaining 200 levels in your primary MCMMO stat. Wait, only 200? That'll take like an hour at most? Alright. Oh, but it won't be so easy. We've made the XP rates low. Basement low. We want the rate of skill gain to depend on a couple key points: players' actual skill at the activity and their willingness to specialize in one activity. A player who really likes fishing will rank faster if they're a fisherman who fishes a lot, rather than a fisherman who mines and cuts wood and tames animals on the side. While both options are available, clearly the more dedicated fisherman will profit sooner. We like that. But because the XP rates are so low, neither player will reach the next rank before it would be appropriate considering their activities and practices of the trade. Ideally, a player is kind of okay at a couple skills, pretty good with a couple skills, and a real ace of their primary skill. Considering how much a player benefits from higher skill levels, it would be recommended to actually try to specialize instead of being a jack of all trades, as most Minecraft players are prone to do, since, after all, anybody can do everything themselves. Not all professions are tied to MCMMO skills. These are Architect, Jester, and Priest ranks. They are able to advance based on total play time. They can do so at 75 hours, 125 hours, 175 hours, and 225 hours after choosing their profession. Now, I can hear a lot of people groaning about AFK grinders and other grinders that effectively take the play out of the gameplay, and give an unfair advantage to players who are playing with their own strengths. There will always be people who try to cheat a game. It's inevitable, especially when the player base is younger in general. No offense. The developers have been careful to repeatedly test and calibrate all skills so that the XP gain rates are low enough that AFK grinding wouldn't really be worth it. Additionally, we have system devices that automatically detect and obliterate any and all AFK machines. Our primary concern with any ranking system based on time or on game mechanics is the potential abuse of these systems to create an imbalanced experience for the lazy cheaters and the honorable rest of the player base. I felt it was important to make sure that this was said for the sake of putting your minds at ease. Rest assured we're hounding this issue and will continue to monitor the mechanics and rates to make sure they meet expectations. Now that you've had a chance to preview the ranks, let's dive into those professions. Like I said before, the names of the professions are loosely based on the MCMMO skills they're good and bad at. We don't want players to feel that, should they choose a miner, they're forced to use that particular skill for making money. My character, Marshall Fox, who you'll see as an example throughout all my guides, is a knight. As a knight, he gains bonuses to the rate at which he gains the sword skill. While I do advertise myself as a good escort and mob slayer, I consider myself more inclined to make money through selling houses that I've built, a long-standing tradition that I'm well known for. So while I am a knight, I function both as a bodyguard and an architect, despite having neither title. I hope this opens up a lot of freedom for you to design a character that accommodates your play style as well as your chosen character's personality. Each MCMMO skill has 2 professions that it specializes in. As every single profession will have 50% increased experience gain for their primary skill, they will pay for it by gaining 50% less experience in another skill. Every skill has a profession that is given bonus or penalty, except for the 3 social professions, architect, jester, and priest. Additionally, only professionals of a certain trade will have access to special MCMMO abilities related to that skill. For example, only yeomen and archers, the bows classes, will have access to the ability Daze, which stuns the target as well as damaging them. All professions have exclusive access to a skill, and that can make the edge needed between professions. Warning, warning, you only get to choose your profession one time. I would repeat that, but you could just go back a few seconds and listen to it again. Once you've registered your profession with the appropriate NPC, you're locked in for life unless you request a full character reset from staff, the process of which will be revealed after launch. Make sure you've done your research here to avoid regrets and hassle later. We made the novice rank so that players who were not sure what they wanted to be could still play the game without having to lock in their rank. You are more than welcome, and you are encouraged to stay novice until you are absolutely dead certain that you know what you want your profession to be, because you will absolutely regret picking the wrong thing. While I could ramble on listing the professions, you can get all the information you need through the Wink guide listed in the description. As promised, this video is pretty short. I invite you to continue asking questions and giving feedback. I've really enjoyed responding to the comments left on the other previews, and having some pretty interesting talks with others about their characters. Tomorrow's video, the last in the series, will be a long one covering the known history of Solstice. Grab some popcorn, s'mores, and a comfy blanket, and circle around the campfire. It's going to be one hell of a story. We've got 760 years to cover, and I'm all out of time for today. I look forward to the finale of this series and watching what your characters develop into. If you want feedback, feel free to send me your ideas personally, not through YouTube, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Because I know a lot about the ranks and the lore of the server, I have a very good position to give feedback on people's characters. If you're not sure exactly what you want to be or if it's going to work, go ahead and send me an email, which you can find in the description below. I'll read any and all responses you get, and the more you tell me about your character or what you want it to be, the more I can help you. As I've been running D&D campaigns for years, I'm pretty good at helping people figure out what they want their characters to be. And if you send me an email, I'm pretty sure I could give you the assistance you're asking for as well. This is Chancellor Marsh, signing out.